Yay. I'm back, y'all. I hope y'all are doing well. Um, Getting my lunch and doctor's appointment went well. Everything's good. I'm happy. Just a medicine refill. Nothing major. Nothing major. Nothing. So right now we are on a verdict watch. And let me think I heard our bell ring. Let me double check. If so, I got to get up and go get it. Nope. Nobody's here. Okay. So, that was an interesting testimony for the Karen Reed trial. Okay, yes, I'm going to eat lunch. Okay, just the way it's going to be right now. We're in jury watch. So the jury has been deliberating for 9 hours. The jury is hung and has been instructed to continue deliberating and attempt to reach a verdict. Which means, to me, based on the time that has gone on, good afternoon, Eddie. Is it morning? It still is by 3 minutes. Leads me to believe that it's probably all one person is holding up the verdict, whether it's for or against. I mean, now that it's over, I don't think there's enough evidence to convict him. As much as I'd like to see closure for the family, and he is considered family, he's husband, I don't see enough evidence, personally, in my humble opinion. Eddie, Miss Kevin isn't here, but I want to thank you guys for holding down the fort. I learned that I could access through my cell phone, but I did not mean to end the live, but I'm glad I did. So on Friday night, fun night, I'm going to go live on my phone. I'm going to enter StreamYard through my phone. So if I have to leave again and leave this going, which I'm sure will happen again, I will be able to control or comment through there. I did learn that I could still pin posts through my YouTube channel. A lot of people think the husband's being framed. We're in 10 hours and 20 minutes now. I'm just reading. I was afraid of a hung jury. I really was. What was your thoughts on the freaking testimony this afternoon in the Karen Reed trial? That was absolutely insane. All right. I'm going to say I was really disgusted with the fact that they tried to turn a situation at a hot tub, which I got to be honest, if I had a rocking body like hers and I knew everybody there, I don't know. But alcohol was involved. Just because she was unclothed does not mean that she did anything inappropriate. Would I have done that? Not on your life. But not everybody is uncomfortable being natural. There are natural communities out there all over the place. Heck, they even have a natural cruise. And yes, I'm not using the word for a reason. But what's cool about, not cool, like I would do it, but what's interesting is on a natural cruise, You have to go to dinner dressed. Mm. Eddie, was it you who sent me the information on another trial, or was it somebody else? I've slept since then. Okay. I'm gonna go back and watch that. Are you talking about, you said Reed? He kept drinking? What do you mean? I don't know what you mean. Mm. So we have day 22 tomorrow on Monday. By the way, if anybody follows women's gymnastics, Simone Biles has clinched her ninth U.S. Um, national title. I watched her yesterday. She was on freaking fire. Mm. I'm going to go back and watch what I missed. I'm going to go back to the last. Yeah, I'm going to start here. I'm going to share this screen while we're waiting. And I'm going to watch this last part of the thing. Oh, okay. Well, we're going to find out because I'm going to watch it. Because I have not seen it. Here we go. Kind of picking up about where I left off. I guess I can skim through that part. He was talking. See, I went.
Go ahead and enlarge that the rear area.
Yeah, I wanted to see that on big screen. I heard it.
I'm going to ask you to pay special attention to that wheel and any movement that you may or may not see. Okay, pause it. Okay, in about the next 3 seconds, Sergeant, I'm asking you to pay special attention to the wheel. Go ahead.
She made contact.
And you can take that down. Sergeant, were you able to see that video? I know it's not the clearest thing in the world. Were you able to see that video okay?
Yes, I
What did
did.
you notice about the rear wheel of the Traverse?
Based on the motion in the shot with the snow falling, it appears that there is movement, but the video speaks for itself.
What would you assess based on the movement of the rear wheel of the Traverse about whether or
Contact
not the
was
two
made.
vehicles came in contact with one another?
Objection.
Sustained.
Okay. May I have just a moment, Your Honor?
Yes.
Why do we not have evidence of the damage caused to O'Keefe's vehicle? Why are they not bringing that in? Because there was contact. Did the family get rid of it already? There was contact made. Something should have happened to it.
May I inquire?
Yes.
Thank you. I'm trying to use my time wisely, Your Honor. Yesterday, Sergeant, you were asked about a couple of videos related to the Sallyport garage. Do you have that in mind?
Yes.
As a matter of fact, we watched one of them pretty specifically toward the end of the day yesterday. Did you actually, I want to talk about the one that is the clearer of the two, where you slip. You remember that one?
If you pull it up, I can.
I will in just a second.
Okay.
There was one where Mr. Lally paused it and you were slipping in front of the vehicle.
I don't recall myself slipping, no, but it was icy that day. So if there's documentation of me slipping, I might have happened.
Fair enough. I didn't mean anything by that other than that was a moment that I thought you might recall to differentiate the videos. It's exhibit 446, but I don't think that's going to help you. All right, let's see if I can do this another way. Did you actually personally go to Canton PD to retrieve any or all of the videos of the Sallyport? You yourself?
I did go to Canton and collect already extracted video,
Okay.
but it was a portion of video surveillance. I didn't collect all of the video, so
When was the most recent time that you went to Canton to collect a portion of the video?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't remember. I'm sorry.
Did you review well, let me ask it this way. Did you collect a video that was sought on or about April 23rd, April 24th this year, meaning just a few weeks ago?
Did I collect it?
Correct.
I did not collect that video of April this year, no.
Or you're aware that the video that you saw yesterday was in fact collected after the trial started in April 2024?
Objection.
Sustained.
Are you aware of when that video that we saw yesterday was collected?
Objection.
I'll allow that.
I am not aware.
Okay. Was yesterday the first time you'd seen that video?
No,
When had you seen that video previously?
a couple of weeks ago.
Okay. What were the circumstances in which you saw that video?
Objection.
Sustained.
Did you have a meeting with the DA?
Objection.
Sustained.
Did you ever have any kind of communication with Mr. Lally about your testimony?
Objection.
Sustained.
May we approach?
Yes.
Wow. It would help if I'd had everything where I need it.
Wait.
Why is it cutting in and out? Is it cutting in and out for you guys?
You are unmuted.
Oh.
May I?
Yes.
Thank you. Sergeant, did you have any meetings or communications with Mr. Lally in anticipation of your testimony?
Yes,
When was that?
it was about 2 weeks ago, and then last week, I believe.
And what was discussed generally?
Generally, we discussed the portions of the case that I would be presenting.
Did you write a report about your communications with Mr. Lally?
No, I did not.
Were you shown any of the videos that you've seen here in anticipation of your testimony?
Not during the first meeting. I did review a video during the second time.
Okay, and that video was that you did see the second time was the interior video of the Sally Port that we saw yesterday, correct?
I'm just trying to remember exactly what video I saw. I had reviewed videos outside of our meeting, so I don't remember exactly what video Mr. Lally showed me.
But you do recall seeing the video that you saw yesterday, the sort of clear one that has the crime scene taping put up and all that. You have seen that one before,
Yes,
and that was with Mr. Lally, correct?
that is not correct because I do not recall when I saw that video or what video I saw with Mr. Lally.
I see. All right. I'd like to talk about that exhibit 446 for a second, and then I'll show it to you. You indicated that the video all the videos, everything that you saw yesterday was true and accurate, correct? Based on your memory of the events that were memorialized in the video?
The video captures events taking place in an accurate fashion, yes.
In an accurate fashion. All right, that's what I wanted to find out. And after you watched the video, I think you were asked by Mr. Lally, does the video show you or Trooper Proctor having access to or messing with in any way that right rear tail light in any fashion? And you said never.
I was asked if at any point Trooper Proctor and I had came into contact, I believe, or touched the vehicle and that portion of the vehicle, and I said never. We never touched the vehicle prior to it being properly processed with a search warrant.
And that was specifically his question was to, and your answer was to the right rear portion of the vehicle, right? That right rear tail light.
The right rear damaged taillight, correct.
When, all right, my peeps, when was the search warrant executed? Meaning, when was it signed? Because this is how it goes. I know from personal experience with my ex. Say this mug here was sitting on my desk, and a police officer walks in, and they assume that there's something in it illegal. So it's sitting on my desk. They can't touch it. They can look at it. They can walk around it. But they can't touch it without a search warrant. No. Some police officers will say they picked up the glass with the glove, moved it another location as to secure it. My dog, that's her treat mug. Secure it with anticipating a search warrant at any moment. They can't do that. No. The officer may sit, pull up a chair, tell me that you're not to touch that. You can sit with the police officer until the police officer gets a warrant. Once the warrant is signed, he can touch it. So why was her vehicle towed, first of all, into a dirty Sally port, after which they, i.e., multiple people, 4 or 5 people at least, get shovels and start shoveling the Sally port with the car in the port. They should have shoveled it before it even got there. Shoveled, clean the floor, maybe lay a tarp down. I don't know. They had so many people close to that vehicle. And they have a hair that they found that's just lightly perched on the vehicle. How in the heck? That is not a secured area. And you had a tow truck driver get in the vehicle. Well, first, open the door, put it in neutral, so you have to enter the vehicle, either completely or partially. Put it in neutral, have the hooks, pull it up on a 45-degree angle with glass on the bumper. No. Someone say the snow held it there. Yeah, right. Possible, believable, 2 different things. And then drive in a snowstorm. He gets there. He raises the bed again, 45-degree angle. Then releases the vehicle. Then he moves his vehicle. He gets in her car, drives it into the Sally port, gets out of the vehicle, takes a picture of the front, goes back into the vehicle, take a picture of the inside. That's standard procedure. That vehicle is contaminated. The hair could have come from the tow truck driver.
With the court's permission, I'd like to play
My
a portion of
humble opinion.
Exhibit 446.
Okay.
Before we begin playing it, Mr. Bates, if you wouldn't mind, may I inquire, Your Honor, of the witness, just to lay a foundation? Sergeant, do you recognize this?
Look at that. So, they scraped all this clean. It's not clean. Look at that. As the snow melts, for example, say she backed up into someone, and if there was sharp edges that tore the article of clothing are covered in snow, which may and most often would contain fibers. If it's ragged and it tore a shirt, because they said those scratches came from her backing up over him. Then as the snow melts, it's going to drip. So the fibers, if there is any, are going to drip with the melting snow onto the floor. There's no way that the floor of that Sally port is clean enough for them to ascertain where any of that came from.
Being the video that we saw yesterday?
It does look accurate.
Okay.
Yes.
I just wanted to make sure we're on the same page. This is 446, just so you have it in mind if I reference that. Space, if you could play that. And I think it's runtime 120.
Hey, CG and text. Still waiting for my visit.
Pause it. Do you recognize that as the video we saw yesterday?
Yes, I do.
Very briefly, if you could move to time of day, 5:37:05.
Anything coming in, they drove over. Why? I know my chair's squeaky. Why are you cleaning it after?
Yes. With the court's permission, can we play at this point?
Yes.
God,
All right,
I
that
need another cup of
shows
coffee like
the
a hole in my
vehicle
head
coming
when
into
I
the
need it.
Salad Court, and we're looking at which side of the vehicle?
So that is the driver's side of the vehicle. What that video depicts is a mirror collection. Although mirrors are accurate representation of what you're seeing, it's just inverted.
Make sure you explain that. Yeah. Um, my camera's mirrored is not mirrored. You can read the words. Left is left, right is right, not the other way around.
So that is the driver's side of the vehicle. I do not know why it is inverted, but that's the way it was presented, collected and presented from Canton Police.
Can you see a timestamp or a time and date stamp on the bottom of that? It's in blue.
I cannot know.
Okay. Does it appear that time and date stamp, if you can't read every letter on it, that is in correct order? In other words, that's not inverted.
I cannot read it, no.
All right, let's go and play this for a second.
Y'all, look at the wind blowing. You can see gusts of wind blowing towards the front of the vehicle from the
I
front
do
to the
not
rear.
know. I think that's the tow truck driver. He would have the only access to the vehicle. We did not touch
There's
the
a
vehicle.
slip.
Who's that on the left?
I missed that. I was looking down at the laser pointer. I do not know. I know for a fact I'm the gentleman that's wearing a dark olive drab state police baseball style hat, and Trooper Mike Proctor is wearing a winter hat.
Trooper Proctor's wearing what?
A winter hat.
Back up. That was playing, and I didn't realize it was playing while you were talking.
Bingo, CG and Tex.
Yesterday, when you
Bingo.
testified, you indicated that the two individuals in this scene were you and Trooper Proctor, correct?
Not correct. There was two individuals in the rear of the vehicle. I shined my light to. That was me and Trooper Proctor.
Do you see Trooper Proctor toward the back of the rear of the vehicle there?
There's a head right there.
I can't tell because of what the head is. I just know that Trooper Proctor was wearing a black hat.
Which the person in that in the video to the left, to the rear of the car, is wearing a black hat, correct?
I can't tell. I don't want to be locked into a statement where later on you show me that it's somebody else magically. I can't testify to that.
There's no magic about this. It's your testimony. I'm just asking you what you see.
I don't see that. No.
Let's go ahead and play at this point. Do you see the person toward the back of the vehicle walking toward the opposite side of the SUV?
I do.
What area does he appear to be going to?
He appears to be going towards the rear passenger side of the vehicle, although it does not appear so because the video is inverted, a mirror image. That's where he's going.
And Sergeant Buchnick, you testified for at least a half an hour about this video yesterday, correct?
I'm sorry, it was a long day. I don't know the timing of how long I testified.
You significantly testified about this video yesterday, did you not?
I testified about this video.
And you testified that it was true and accurate, correct?
Correct.
And you testified that it was reflective of your observations of what was happening in that Sally Port that evening, correct?
I testified that this is a accurate scene and collection of video evidence from the Sally Port.
And as that truck sits in that Sally Port, just like this, it appears from all perspectives that what we're looking at is the passenger side of the car, and that right rear taillight is right there shining in our face, correct? From this perspective.
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
From this perspective, from the perspective that the jurors are looking at,
Okay.
from all indications, that would appear to be the right side of the truck, the passenger side of the truck, and that taillight that you can see is the right rear taillight from this perspective, correct?
The way it presents itself, yes.
And yesterday, during the entirety of your questioning by Mr. Lally, not once did you mention that this video is actually completely inverted,
I
correct?
did not know.
Mr. Lally didn't ask you if it was inverted, correct?
That's correct. and
And if I hadn't gotten up here and begun questioning you, that would be left uncorrected, correct?
Objection.
Sustained.
This guy was good.
The person with the winter cap appears to walk directly to the what ultimately should be the right rear taillight of this car, correct?
That's the vicinity, yes. That's where he is. Yeah.
Sort of place.
I'm working on something for us, y'all.
I'd like you to pay attention to the right rear of this car. And I know we're completely backward, but it's the far corner of the car. Do you see a person's head there?
It appears as if someone's still there.
And that person is located at or near what portion of the car?
In real life or as it's depicted?
Is the person in real life, near the right rear taillight of the car?
Yes.
Matter of fact, standing there hovering around there, correct?
We don't know the distance that they are in proximity to the actual vehicle. We just know that they're behind the vehicle. That
Looks like it's pretty close, doesn't it, Sergeant?
Objection.
Sustained.
Does that look like he's in close proximity to the right rear taillight?
as I said, I can't tell how far away he is from the vehicle.
His head's right there, sir. You can't tell that he's right next to the right rear taillight?
Objection.
Sustained.
I want you to pay attention to what that person does as soon as the other person comes out from behind that car. See if you see him move. Stop it. Do you see that person move?
I saw movement in the frame, yes.
Right when the other person is in eyesight of the person toward the right rear, correct?
I mean, the video speaks for itself.
Yeah, it does.
Objection, Your Honor.
The objection sustained. No commenting, Mr. Jackson. We've talked about that.
I'm going to ask Mr. Bates to back it up because there's one other issue I want you to pay attention to, if you can, right at this moment or right before this moment, and that is the timestamp. We back it up maybe 10 seconds. Right about there. Don't play it yet. Instead of paying attention to the individuals, I'm going to ask you, can you see May I approach the screen, Your Honor? Yes. Can you see the timestamp at 5:37 and 37 seconds p.m.? Can you see that from where you're at?
No, I cannot.
Me neither. That's why I had to walk up to it.
Y'all,
Let's play it for about 10 seconds.
I'm fixing something for us. Something special I'm going to do tomorrow night.
Pause it.
If I can
Did you
get
see
it to
another
work.
person just appear toward the rear end of the car?
There was a fog of some sorts. It did appear as if a person was actually in. There was two people back there, and two people walked away, or one person walked away.
The timestamp jumped to 5:38:01. Correct?
I cannot see the timestamp, sir.
Okay. Did it appear that there was an anomaly? There was a portion of that video that was deleted. Or it's missing, not deleted, but just missing.
Objection.
Can you tell that? Does it appear that way to you, Sergeant?
No, Your Honor, I cannot tell what is happening with the video.
Of course you can't tell. If you can tell, you're going to get yourself in
Take a
trouble.
close look at there's a classic police car in that Sally Port, correct?
There's an antique vehicle there. Yes, yes.
If you take a close look
Why?
at the trunk of that vehicle,
That vehicle should not be in the same area where you have evidence.
Yes, I believe I can read that. Yes.
and it's backward, correct?
It is mirrored, correct.
That's a good indication that this is an inverted video, right?
It appears that way, yes.
And if we were to fast forward at
I don't think
5:42,
Rutnick is going to play well.
not another 20 seconds. There you go. Can we just play it at this point? No. Okay, when you pause it. Pause it. You see the Sally Port garage came down?
Yes,
You see a number on the garage?
I do.
Is that correct?
What is correct?
Does the number appear correct? How do you make it 4?
No, the number's in the mirror image, yes.
I just wanted to make the point. Everything in this video is completely backward, correct?
He's not
It's
going to
not
get
backwards,
this.
it's mirrored, reversed.
You're
can
gonna
look
push
yourself
it
in the
too
mirror
far.
in the morning, you still see your own face. It's not backwards.
But my mirror image is not an accurate depiction of who I am. My
Jack.
actual physical appearance is who I am, correct?
Objection.
Sustained.
A mirror image, Sergeant, is not an accurate video of this, is it?
Objection.
It's a mirror image by definition.
Sustained. Ask it differently, Mr. Jackson.
She's trying to help him.
I would like to mark,
That hurts. Dude,
I have
sorry, y'all.
we can bring the lights up.
It is.
Wait.
I have a thumb drive that I'd like to have marked with the court's permission.
Does Mr. Lally know what's on this thumb drive without you telling us?
I
Nope.
do not.
Okay.
We can approach it.
Of course not.
We're trying to wrap up our morning.
It's,
It's marked for identification.
if I may, Your Honor, I'd like to play the first 10 seconds of that video.
No.
I remember her saying, oh,
We'll come to sideline. It's marked for identification, right, Mr. Jackson?
You are
wow. Wow, y'all. This is getting good. I don't know if I can do this, but I am going to try. I've got something I'm working on. I don't want to share it yet. because I don't want to ruin it. If I can't get it done, if it can't do it, I don't want to disappoint. I just don't want to disappoint you. But I'm going to try and do something. Did y'all hear that Alec Baldwin is going to have a reality TV show? And he's in the middle of fighting for his life and career. And they're going to do a TV show. Do you think that's a wise decision? And I had no idea he had like 6 little kids. I kid you not. 6 little children. I think, or 8. I don't know. It's a lot. I was like, oh my gosh, y'all.
Wait.
I got to change the color on that button because I think it's the same and it's not. So, what I'm doing here, I'm not going to tell you. I want to, but I can't. I can't because if I don't get it to work, then I don't want to disappoint. But let's see, Alec Baldwin. Somebody asked if Hannah Gutierrez Reed would testify. I don't think she will be. They can try and force her to, but she has the right to protect her appeal, and she has another case that's open where they're trying to get her for bringing a gun into a bar. And therefore, anything that she says in this trial can be used against her. And so, no, she's not. Um, they can subpoena her. All she has to do is say, I plead the fifth. And then that can cause for mistrial. So, don't know how that's going to play out. But to my understanding, if she testifies, it could hurt her appeal and it can also hurt the other case against her. Okay, now let's see if I can get this done. Want to see if I can drive something. Hmm. It may not work. We'll see. So Lolly should have explained it was mirrored. Yeah, that is a good point. I was hoping they would go a full day today because they've not been doing a whole lot. Hi, Nolene. I, for a minute, thought you thought I was lying. I was going to go, I ain't lying. I'll put me back up there. I ain't lying. Don't give me no lying. But you're right. I think the way he answered, sometimes a short, truthful answer is far better than an evasive or lie. Yeah. Um, I, he has to be careful because they're all under investigation, or definitely Trooper Proctor is under investigation. Yeah, that'd not be good. Oh, why don't I put this up for a split second, y'all? I feel it's appropriate to do so. Hmm. Uh, I'm going to try and see if I can do something. It's a big stretch, y'all. We'll see. Let's see. I love this music. I love playing with it. Hmm. I can go to sleep. I can definitely go to sleep to this. Crop it. I want to crop it.
You are unmuted.
Panic, we're gonna have a- All right, so we'll just wait. Jurors, I know that you want to know when this case is going to end, and I don't mean that in any negative way. After speaking with the lawyers, I can safely say that you will get this case for your deliberations sometime the last week in June. We'll know better next week. We will not be in session next Tuesday. We will go full days, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday next week. We will not be in session next Tuesday. I have to give you those cautions again. Please do not discuss this case with anyone. Don't do any independent research or investigation into this case. If you happen to see, hear, or read anything about this case, please disregard it and let us know. Have a great weekend. We'll see you again.
All rise to the jury, please, jurors.
You are muted.
It's not going to work. I was trying to do something sneaky. I was trying to take the sleeve and transpose it onto the arm. Part of the problem though is the sleeve is flat, the arm is curved, but I just kind of wanted to look at some of the picture of it and see what I could find. Didn't get there. Y'all, we are still in verdict watch. We are now at over 10 hours, of course, of jury deliberation. So we're waiting for that. So I have that up and running. I am going to be working on. So they say that this will be done. She's still talking to him.
Monday morning, I think. Madam
Uh-oh,
Interpreter.
my bad. That's what I get for skipping away.
When this case is going to end, and I don't mean that in any negative way. After speaking with the lawyers, I can safely say that you will get this case for your deliberations sometime the last week in June. We'll know better next week. We will not be in session next Tuesday. We will go full days, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday next week. We will not be in session next Tuesday. I have to give you those cautions again. Please do not discuss this case with anyone. Don't do any independent research or investigation into this case. If you happen to see, hear, or read anything about this case, please disregard it and let us know. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday.
All rise to the jury, please, jurors.
You are muted.
She does say something else, I believe, to him.
Thank you.
You may be seated.
All right, so I received a motion from the Commonwealth this morning that I have not had an opportunity to read yet. It's on my desk. I'd like to go spend a few minutes looking at that and come back out at 12 o'clock on that.
In order to.
Oh.
Do it?
Yes. Do you need?
I don't get it either.
Okay.
You've been busy.
All right.
Could we do it on Monday?
I want to get as much evidence in as we can each day. We can do it at 8:30 Monday morning, I think. Madam Court Reporter, can we do it at 8:30? Yeah. Jim?
Sure. Absolutely fine with us. Not that it matters. We will, but-
Can we do it at 8:30 Monday morning?
If that's what the court wants, yes.
Yeah, we'll have a hearing on it at 8:30 Monday. Are you around tomorrow? Are you around tomorrow?
Oh, am I? Yes, absolutely.
Do you want to do it tomorrow morning?
If I had a preference, I would say Monday.
All right, we'll do Monday morning at 8:30.
Wow.
Okay, great.
And if you want to put something in writing, just email it to us this weekend.
Will do.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, we'll see you then.
What is the motion? Does anybody have a clue? Wow. I'll leave that. Got so many images here that I need to get rid of. Okay, so that is done. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so now it's just us waiting for this clock to turn. We'll put it to stage. Oh, and to stage. I was hoping that shortly after lunch they would come back. Why is this not doing what I want it to do? Okay. Well, that's what it's going to be. If anybody sends me friend requests, I'm very careful with who I accept, no offense. So if you are sending me a friend request on social media, instant message me before. That way I know that it's legit and not a troll, which we've had plenty of. But my mods have done a fabulous job at keeping them away. All right, guys, you have a choice, mods. Do we want to stay on and watch some? Oh, Wild Courts. Oh my gosh. Do y'all remember me when it happened, putting it out there about the guy who was driving the car? Lunch is just bit. Remember about the guy that was driving the car and the judge's, and he was on a Zoom with the judge, and it was for driving on a suspended license. Do y'all remember that? Oh my gosh. Hey, Sparkles! He was back in court and he blamed the judge and people for not doing their job. And the judge went off on him. I gotta find that video. We have got to watch the video. What Judge Simpson? That's right. The guy came back into court and oh my gosh, Judge Simpson. Everybody else has your thing, but not what I'm looking for. Where is Judge Simpson's? Let me just do this. I want to get to Judge Simpson. I don't want all this other stuff. We are doing well, Miss Bubbles. This I don't want to play somebody else's video is my problem. I want his direct court feed. There it is. I want Simpson. No, that's not Simpson. Oh, but I can't. Girl. Oh, dagnabbit, my computer and my screen are not cooperating. Thank you. I don't know why it wouldn't pop up on my end. It just drives me nuts. I got too many windows open, y'all. Okay, but that's live. I want the past courts. I don't want today's. There we go. Which day? It didn't have. Are you kidding me? I got to go find out what day that was. I'm looking at videos. Well, actually, it says home and live. It doesn't say videos. Yeah, it's home or live. Oh. I'm trying to look for the day. Yeah. It not be organized. Or I'm just not having a good day. Oh. Did y'all hear that? Y'all hear my son? Oh. It's under court. TV Cam Live. No, that's not it. NBC News. It's on another court. Yeah, give me a. Yeah. I need the actual. Because everything is from everybody else's, not his. And I need it from his. Oh, his wife is sitting in court with him and she doesn't look happy either. They may have taken it down. Because I don't want other commentators on it. But this is worth the watch, y'all. This was definitely worth the watch. What day was it? Was it yesterday? Today's the 6th. Maybe it was the 5th. Let me see if I can skim through. Marked private? Wonder why. $130th? What do you mean by 130th? Guys? It's marked private. You can't see it. It was marked private. Why? Was it marked private? When I go to the channel, you see him sitting in the background, but when he gets on, it's marked private. Here, I'll show you what I'm seeing. I'll show you what I'm right there. See? So if I go here and come back, see he's sitting right there. Let me share. He's sitting right there. But when you go, it's private. Okay. Y'all, I'm learning. Okay, there it is. Hallelujah. Okay, thank God. I want to know who that woman is in the background. You see her belly button. Ugh. Who is this woman? Okay, here we go. Let's play. Let me get volume.
Until June
Woman here,
7th.
she shows everything,
2024.
y'all. She should just turn off her camera. It's gross.
Okay, so the people versus Corey Harris.
You were so awesome. I love you. Love you, Eddie. Love you, CT and Tex. Oh, yeah. I'm going to make some smart ass comments. Shoot, I haven't been on for over an hour, 2 hours. You were awesome.
Good afternoon. May it please this honorable court, Dion Webster Cox appearing on behalf of Mr. Harris. How are you, Your Honor?
We will see.
We're good. We're good.
Mr. Brown, or somebody from the PD's office, because I did not get a substitution. I got an appearance.
Oh,
Did I
I've
get
got a substitution right here.
Signed off on.
It is.
All right. Then
I got it
don't
right
need
here
to
for you.
address-
I'm ready to take this case.
I
We'll
don't
see
need to
about that.
address the public defender's motion to withdraw. I'll
Okay,
consider
guys.
that withdrawn, given the substitution. I do have an appearance.
Okay. Can you hear me comfortably over the judge? Or do I sound like I'm yelling? I need to know.
And I will sign off on the substitution.
By the way,
you.
this girl's camera's
Thank
on
you.
the floor looking up her nose.
All right. What are we doing today?
So, Your Honor, we were going to, there's several options that my client,
Well, and I want you to know, counsel, that because of certain
Counsel, you have no idea what bucket of gnarly worms you are walking into. Let me tell you, as the judge, what we're going to do first. Okay? Let's go.
things, the court has a number of things I have to say.
Do I need
Because
to be
I have-
louder or
because I
softer?
think the
Say
record-
louder or softer.
Given particularly some of Mr. Harris's comments with reference to this court potentially acting what at least
I'm sorry, y'all. This woman, okay, I'm too loud. This woman is grooming herself. almost swear she goes to the bathroom. It's bad, y'all.
Says I'm to understand is on what some may be, or is it, let's put it this way. People are saying, and quite frankly, your client has made the assertion that the Pittsfield Township, as well as this court, was acting on some type of defective or faulty information, which I will tell you, counsel, caused the court, given what the court did, to investigate what my ruling was. And I will tell you that that assertion is absolutely correct with reference to any faulty information that either came through to the Pittsfield Township Department of Public Safety or to this court ultimately at the May 15th hearing. And I think it needs to be stated, I've been asked for comments. I have refrained from comments, as is my normal practice is. This court with the pending case will speak on the record and
Snap. Oh, that's not what I want.
Dude, you're gonna get your butt chewed and handed to you on a silver freaking platter.
The judge is smart. He has not commented. He's done what he's supposed to do. He waited until they got to court, and now the gloves are off. And this woman wanted this case, I guess, because she's getting ready to step into a bucket of worms that's going to leave a stink all the way outside that courtroom door. And this is probably this year's best judge whooping I've ever seen. Let's go.
so I am going to make sure that the record is very, very clear as to what this court knows and what this court acted on May 15th. And we can start with this. And my basis for doing it is because of what was said about what this whole process was. And that an indication, counsel, and I know, counsel, you've been before me before.
Absolutely.
I know it is not coming from you, but you also know how I am.
I do.
And the thing,
Oh, y'all. Watch that again. This woman needs to put some freaking pants
and
on.
I know, counsel, you've been before me before.
Absolutely.
I know it is not coming from you, but you also know how I am.
I do.
Okay, guys. That's a mama belly. But darling.
And the thing is that if for whatever reason, the one time in my life I was wrong, I will say it and did. But when I'm not wrong, and when people are not to blame, then it also needs to be said. So I will try to get through this as quick as I possibly can. But I will tell you, first of all, with any reference to your client having had a license on that day, and some indication or misunderstanding as to whether or not he had a license. Let me make it very clear, based upon what the court looked at, he has never had a Michigan license, ever.
Did y'all hear that? Here's the kicker.
And has never had a license in the other 49 states and commonwealths that form up this great union. He has never had a license. In point of fact, when they suspended his license, and what people don't understand, when they suspended his license in Saginaw, they don't suspend the license. They suspend the privilege to drive in this state. Hence, for example, if he had had a Kentucky license, he would be able to drive everywhere that Kentucky would allow him to drive. He just couldn't drive in Michigan because his privileges had been restricted.
Why? Because he was driving without
that.
a license and caught way too many times.
that wasn't at all said, but it doesn't matter because he didn't have a license ever. There is also then, and I will, when it is necessary, come to the defense of my sister courts, and I will come to the defense of.
Should I have saved this for Friday night? I think I'll do this again Friday night. Rest for indecency. Oh, I don't want to have to go to the stall. Don't send me to the stall, please. I don't want to go to the stall. Here we go. But y'all, it gets better. Way better.
Saginaw. They got a great chief judge. Chief judge answered the question. But I will tell you,
I'll be right back.
that court
Keep watching.
and its friend of the court did nothing wrong. His license was his driving privileges, better stated, were unsuspended in 2022. That required Mr. Harris to do something. He didn't do it. Therefore, that friend of the court was under no obligation to send anything to the Secretary of State. Now, I hated that I had to look at all of this, but when there's a question as to what I did, I'm going to look at everything to make sure that what I did was all in order. There's then an indication from that because that wasn't sent, there was a direct attack on Michigan's Department of Secretary of State's office, saying that the Secretary of State was somehow at fault. Let me tell you something. Secretary of State did what they were supposed to do. And in point of fact, they did nothing because they hadn't gotten anything from the court because Mr. Harris had not paid the reinstatement. This week, or the latter part of last week, once he paid that, Saginaw friend of the court did what they should do, and they sent it. Immediately, based upon the information that I have, the Secretary of State did what they do every day. They took that suspension off of his driving record, and he was then unsuspended. And then your client did what he needed to do with reference to the Secretary of State and paid a reinstatement. Okay. Just a second, Mr. Schiller. I'm going to let everybody respond because
Thank you.
Okay, do y'all get what happened? Shoot. Is this doing what I think it's doing? It sure the hell is. Do y'all get what happened? My thing's moving. I don't want it disconnecting from the desk and falling. We'll have to tighten it up when I get done. Are you following this? Oh my gosh, y'all, so horrible. I think she's laying on a pillow, but y'all, that's bad. Okay, so basically, the defendant had his privileges revoked, then they were reinstated, but he, the defendant, neglected to pay the reinstatement fees and kept driving.
I am not done yet.
Okay.
All right. You covered a lot of the points for me. Thank you, Your Honor. And so that came down to that. So
Okay. The world has gone cuckoo. Okay. The guy in yellow that got caught driving with a suspended license. His license was not suspended. He was caught for driving without a license. Now, he has never had a driver's license, and he looks like, if he's not, He looks like he's pushing 50 years old. Okay. What an idiot for sure. So he had been caught multiple times for driving without a license in Michigan. So they cannot suspend a license when you don't own a license. But what they can do is to say you can't get a license now because you don't have the privilege. Yes, she's unrelated to the case. She's in queue for her turn. So she's waiting. You cannot get a license because we took your privilege of driving away because you never had a license. So down. So he's driving his entire life with no license. This is the follow-up, Karen, to the guy who, and I'm being very, very loose, who was on Zoom waiting like this crazy woman down here is, and he was driving, and the reason he was waiting for court because he was being charged with driving while his license was suspended, but truth be told, he never had one. So he's been charged with driving without a license. So the Michigan, whoever suspended his privilege for driving, said, okay, you can have the privilege back, which means he can go and get a driver's license. He has to do like everybody else. He has to take the written test, take the driving test. But we are giving you an opportunity to go and get your driver's license. Well, he didn't do that. But in order for him to get his driver's license, the privilege, he had to pay a fee, a fine. He never paid the fine. So that's where we are. Now, everybody wondering about this woman down here, go back and watch again because she gave us a nasty belly view. And I have to say, there's nothing wrong with a mama belly. But man, you must be darn proud of it to be displaying that mess on TV. Poor baby.
Information
Somebody get her a
at the
tummy tuck.
time that I had.
Sparkles,
that
did you see it?
Pittsfield
Did you not see it? Where are we right now? We're at 4:54. Okay. Did you not see the mama belly? Oh my God. You did not see mama belly? I think it was after this. Let's play right here.
court potentially
Oh,
acting,
some people didn't see it.
what at least as I'm
The
to
mama belly.
understand is
That's a
on,
stretched out belly.
what some may be, or is it, let's put it this way. People are saying, and quite frankly,
I
your
moved
client
back
has made
for
the
the
assertion that the
for others who
Pittsfield
just joined.
Township, as well as this court, was acting on some type of defective or faulty information, which I will tell you, counsel, caused the court, given what the court did, to investigate what my ruling was. And I will tell you that
This is for you,
that
Karen.
assertion is absolutely correct with reference to any faulty information that either came through to the Pittsfield Township Department of Public Safety or to this court ultimately at the May 15th hearing. And I think it needs to be stated, I've been asked for comments. I have refrained from comments, as is my normal practice is. This court with the pending case will speak on the record. And so I am going to make sure that the record is very, very clear as to what this court knows and what this court acted on May 15th. And we can start with this. And my basis for doing it is because of what was said about what this whole process was. And that an indication, counsel, and I know, counsel, you've been before me before.
Yeah,
I
we
know it is
go.
not
Show and
coming
tell.
from you. But you also know how I am.
I do.
And the thing is that if for whatever reason,
That was the bathroom. Ew. There's no verdict. They were hung and then they were sent back and they're still deliberating. Oh my God, that was the bathroom.
the
Ew.
one time in my life I was wrong, I will say it.
Can't
and did.
unsee that.
But when I'm not wrong, and when people are not to blame, then it also needs to be said. So I will try to get through this as quick as I possibly can. But I will tell you, first of all, with any reference to your client having had a license on that day, and some indication or misunderstanding as to whether or not he had a license. Let me make it very clear, based upon what the court looked at, he has never had a Michigan license, ever, and has never had a license in the other 49 states and commonwealths that form up this great union. He has never had a license. In point of fact, when they suspended his license, and what people don't understand, when they suspended his license in Saginaw, they don't suspend the license. They suspend the privilege to drive in this state. Hence, for example, if he had had a Kentucky license, he would be able to drive everywhere that Kentucky would allow him to drive. He just couldn't drive in Michigan because his privileges had been restricted. I know you know that, but that wasn't at all said. But it doesn't matter because he didn't have a license ever. There is also then, and I will, when it is necessary, come to the defense of my sister courts, and I will come to the defense of Saginaw. They got a great chief judge. Chief judge answered the question. But I will tell you, that court and its friend of the court did nothing wrong. His license was, his driving privileges, better stated, were unsuspended in 2022. That required Mr. Harris to do something. He didn't do it. Therefore, the friend of the court was under no obligation to send anything to the Secretary of State. Now, I hated that I had to look at all of this, but when there's a question as to what I did, I'm going to look at everything to make sure that what I did was all in order.
Caught
There's
that
then an
one quick.
indication from that because that wasn't sent, there was a direct attack on Michigan's Department of Secretary of State's office, saying that the Secretary of State was somehow at fault. Let me tell you something. Secretary of State did what they were supposed to do. And in point of fact, they did nothing because they hadn't gotten anything from the court because Mr. Harris had not paid the reinstatement. This week, or the latter part of last week, once he paid that, Saginaw friend of the court did what they should do, and they sent it. Immediately, based upon the information that I have, the Secretary of State did what they do every day. They took that suspension off of his driving record, and he was then unsuspended. And then your client did what he needed to do with reference to the Secretary of State and paid a reinstatement. Okay. Just a second, Mr. Schiller. I'm going to let everybody respond because
Thank you.
I am not done yet.
Okay.
All right.
You covered a lot of the points for me. Thank you, Your Honor.
And so that came down to that. So the information at the time that I had, that Pittsfield Department of Public Safety had, was all correct at the time of both Pittsfield stop as well as the May 15th day. It was all correct. There was no error by anybody. It was a failure on the part of Mr. Harris to do certain things. Now, I grant you that sometimes that can be a complicated process, but it was certainly not anybody's fault that that didn't happen other than that wasn't paid. Now, here's the other thing, and I'm like maybe in church where I say I'm about finished now, but the other part of this is this stop was in October. Most of the cases that we've heard just in this last afternoon are driving while license suspended cases. That's part of my Wednesday afternoon. We go through great pains to try to get people their licenses back, which is really how it should happen. Between October and because I don't live under a rock, I actually watch things. You look very nice on TV.
Thank you.
You're welcome. There was something that was sad, that was very disturbing to me. And I'm just going to let you know because I believe in being fair with everybody. The question was asked along the lines between October of 2023 and the point in time of the May 15th hearing, was there an attempt by Mr. Harris to correct his license? Here's the part that was disturbing for me, so that you know.
Okay.
Mr. Harris indicated that at some point he had been involved in some accident. And being involved into the accident, that he was basically bedridden or at least housebound, he could not get to the Secretary of State. That was set up there, and I'm going to presume, because my knowledge of counsel, defense counsel is, I know you don't misrepresent anything.
Right.
You never do.
Right.
That's not true.
Okay.
He purposely stated that he could not get to the Secretary of State, which, for the way we handle things in this court, would have placed him in a whole different category. We would have tried to find a way. Let's figure it out. And the reason I know that is because Mr. Harris, on December 28th of 2023, do you know where you were?
December 28th, 23.
23rd.
2023.
I know I was laid up from my
You were
accident.
at the Secretary of State's office. And you were at the Secretary of State's office because you
Y'all, I'm sorry. I was laid up. I was hurt. Dude. When a judge says, do you remember where you were on any specific date? You better know, because he already does. He's getting ready to hand your butt to you on a silver platter. Here
were
we
at the
go.
Secretary of State's office. And you were at the Secretary of State's office because you
Look at his face.
redid and got your new Michigan ID. I have the date.
You can't
That's
have an
the date you
ID
did it.
and a driver's license at the same
December
time.
28th, 2023. It did. And so that you also know, and in all fairness to counsel, because I don't know if counsel knows this or not, the way I know that he's never had a license is because May 3rd, 1990, he was 19 at the time. May 3rd, 1999, he applied for his first Michigan ID.
This
Counsel
guy's in his
knows,
40s.
so I do. You cannot have both. You either have an ID or you have a license. One of the two. He has religiously every year gotten a new ID.
He's 40-something years
And
old.
so he knows that he doesn't have a license. And quite frankly, I just wish he would have said that at the beginning. And all of this hoopla could have been just put all aside. And we all go through the process as we do with all of the people coming here to try to get him his license back. But his falsehoods, misstatements are not going to fare him well in this court. I'm done for now. I'm sure I will have something else to say. Whichever one of you would like to speak first, you may.
I'll wait to go last.
Yes,
Ah,
I
geez,
spent
smart.
yesterday at the Pittsfield Township Police Department.
I'm just gonna say this, yeah. This is so smart. She's all like, I don't know what else is coming down the pike. So I'm going to just step back a little bit and let them say their side. Let everybody say what they're going to say so I know how to scrape the off the floor along with my jaw.
With Officer Monaster performing the traffic stop in this case. I also noticed the December 8th, 2023 date, and I know the significance of that, and the court just went through that painstakingly, and I thank you for that. In addition, at the traffic stop,
I stopped him.
when I was at the police department yesterday, we watched body cam video. At least twice during this traffic stop, he acknowledged to the officer that he did not have a valid license. Quote unquote, quote, actually, I don't have a valid license. Close quote. The question was, are
He
you a valid
admitted it.
driver? Quote,
He admitted
I
he
am
didn't
not.
have a license.
Close quote.
Holy crap.
So, you know, like this is all this hoopla and the circus atmosphere. It is, in my opinion, it's an affront to the justice system. I mean, I've been a prosecutor for more than 30 years, and to see this kind of hoopla around a driving while licensed suspended case is ridiculous.
Wow.
And it wasn't caused by this court. It wasn't caused by the Pittsfield Township Police Department. It was caused by the extrajudicial statements made outside this courtroom.
Thank you.
Okay, so
Go ahead.
Yeah, the judge
thank
did
you.
all your arguing
Thank you
for
very
him.
much. Well,
And
first
what
thing I'd like to
happened,
say is,
Joe?
very first thing is we're here and that we all
Watch
saw
the
this.
yellow shirt.
I wasn't in court. I wasn't even on YouTube watching the court today, right? I saw it because someone saw it and decided to post it. I can assure you that was not Mr. I don't think he has the capacity to be able to post it.
You don't
like that
even know
on
his
YouTube
name.
or Instagram. So that was not him. And it happened to take off and go viral. So he had what we saw was him saying what? He was driving, which he should not have been driving, right? We're told not to drive on Zoom while doing that. So that's how this came to the attention, because the court, I saw you. He said, I can't believe this. Is he driving? And we all said that. Everyone who saw that video asked the same question. And that just it became a joke. It became a complete joke. Now, with respect to what we want to do, and I cannot say anything is with respect to what my client has said, but when we talk about the hoopla, my client didn't start the hoopla. Perhaps he's made some comments, but he didn't start the hoopla whatsoever. That was someone that was outside of his control as to how it went viral. He had no control over that, and that I'm going to stand on that. He did not send it out to Instagram. He didn't send it out to wherever. He didn't do that part. So, with respect to, did he have I don't want to try this case today at all.
Oh,
What
of
I wanna
course
do is
not.
focus on what's good. Now, what was good?
The judge is
day in
trying so
October,
hard not to
this officer
smile
here,
at him.
that could have gone a whole other direction. And I'm so happy that you were so kind and courteous to my client. Thank you, officer. Thank you so much. Because it could have gone another
You are
direction.
bullshit.
We are here right now. My client has
I'm not monetized.
an appointment to go to the Secretary of State for his permit. He's
Mhm,
working
I bet
on
he
it.
does.
I want to focus on how do we correct this and cure this? How do we go forward with this situation? Whatever, he was not under oath under any of the things that he said. So we're not talking about any type of perjury going on. Very true. right? True. So with that being the case, let's move forward with this. He is here. This is what I'd like. Because
Counsel, let me just.
yes,
I would like to move forward too.
Yes.
On this case. We handle
Let me
these
tell you what I
cases
like. I'm the
all
judge.
the time. But I will tell you, as you know, having appeared before me, the one thing I don't like is when people don't take responsibility for what they've done. When they take responsibility for it, we will use whatever we can to try to get you to another spot because it doesn't behoove any of us for you to be in that spot. One other thing that I will say, when you say it wasn't started by him, oh, it certainly was. It certainly was when he made his first statement to WXYZ about blaming people for this happening. And he shouldn't have done it because when you look at the whole thing, the person that needed to be blamed, and we can go back to a lot of other points, but I'm not here to embarrass it, but the person that needed to be blamed is the person that he was staring at in the mirror. He didn't do what he should have done, and that's okay. The majority of people that come here on a licensing didn't do what they were supposed to do. That's like a given. They don't go about blaming anybody. They just say, Your Honor, I didn't pay the ticket. Your Honor, I just didn't do it. I just didn't have the time to do it. I just didn't take whatever.
right.
Just own it. Once you own it, then it becomes a whole lot easier just to move forward.
I hope this woman is
Okay,
listening.
I'm sorry. I interrupted you and I said I
Below
wouldn't,
him.
but
Thank you. I understand.
my court.
I'd be scared to death.
I
Go
know who
after
you
this.
are, and I respect that. So, and where I am is where I've always been, because I can assure you that when he did speak to WXYZ that day, I wasn't representing him. I was representing him yesterday.
Not my
right?
fault, Your Honor.
And and you would heard my message is that what steps are to correct this, and that's what I'm about, Your Honor. How do we correct this? Right? I understand the entire process. I have not gone into detail, but I will take the word of the court and of Mr. Stiller here, brother counsel,
I would advise you
about
to
the
do so.
background and the history of it. But how do we go forward? And that's why I'm here to sort of minimize. You okay? And he did get into an accident. May
sit down.
down.
You can sit down.
Please, Your Honor.
Oh, I just can't do this no more.
Right behind. Oh, well, hold on.
Oh,
Okay.
jeez. Oh, jeez.
And now that's real. That's a real injury.
I have no comment.
Okay. So what we're looking for, because there are some options here.
Oh
My
God.
client has indicated to me and would like me to indicate to the court that he is in the process of procuring his license. Oh, hopefully that privilege will be available to him, but he does have, as you stated earlier, and I have the receipts. He did pay the reinstatement.
I'd be so
fee.
embarrassed.
Those fees are paid. Anything that was out in the previous court, those fees have been paid, and I've been presented with those receipts. In addition, on tomorrow, he's got his permit test coming up, and then after that, because he's an adult, he's working on it so that he can take advantage of the offers that are available, because as you say, this court does want to help. Absolutely. And with that, because my client was in an accident, and I haven't seen the medical records, but because of some of the things it could be, I don't know. But sometimes our memories get a little foggy. Now, am I going back to 1999? No, I'm not. But I'm just saying that I'm saying from this day forward, he is working diligently to take the steps necessary to get his driver's license so he can take advantage of the generous offer. Thank you.
Yes.
Go, you just zip it and move on.
Yes,
I
Mr.
hate to say this, Your Honor, one additional thing. I think Fletcher Cox and I need to approach the bench. It may involve Mr. Allen.
Who's Mr.
I
Allen?
know, because I know what it is.
Okay, thank you.
Well, who's Mr. Allen?
That's my bailiff.
Oh,
Oh, y'all.
I will.
Okay, y'all. You think this is good? Just wait. It gets even better. Are y'all ready? Are you ready?
will
It gets
give out
better.
whatever date I
Pay
can.
attention.
Okay.
Counsel, you probably didn't know this, and I wasn't sure where the prosecutor was gonna bring. He's got a warrant.
No, I did not know.
Yes, he has a warrant.
He
for his
didn't tell
arrest.
you nothing.
A bench warrant out of
Ellen Park.
Ellen Park. Mr. Allen.
24th District Court.
Okay.
The shocking thing about it, for a driving while
He is in
license suspended,
so
that he didn't take
much.
care of.
Okay. Well, like I said,
So-
he wants to handle.
So
He's
what it
dedicated.
is that, and it's a valid warrant, I happen to be within their radius of pickup. Now, having said that, I don't know if they will pick him up.
Okay.
I want
will
to know
say
if they
that
picked
when
him up.
what should have happened, I'm not gonna go through and try to figure out whether it did happen. But when he was arrested, when he turned himself in on my revocation of bond, upon being released, he should have been apprised, warned and released to go take care of it. I don't know whether he was. I really don't care whether he was or not. All I know is that was back at mid-May and it hasn't been taken care of. And it's still valid. I was hoping maybe that somebody was going to try and take care of it because I'm sure if you had known, they would have been done. So much
Of
so
course not.
that
Not going to
part
do
of
it.
my delay in getting out of here was to make sure that it was valid. I had my staff run him right before I came out. So that if it hadn't gotten taken care of and in, then fine, we were okay and I didn't need to deal with it.
Right.
But it's still there.
Okay.
So
You're screwed.
will July 17th work as a new date for you?
This is
Come
for
back,
his case.
because as I
Not the
understand
case
it,
in the
he
other
is
county.
right now not licensed. So if he goes in on Thursday, gets his permit, he's got to drive for at least 30 days.
If he's not detained in
Apparently
the
he
other
knows how to
county.
do that part. Sorry, that was, I'm sorry, I didn't need to say.
Your Honor. I am so sorry, y'all. I'm not. But this is good.
Say that, but
We
he
got it.
knows how to do that part, but then he's got to go back, take the test,
Right.
and then he can do that. He may be able to accomplish it in that time, that 45-day period. If not, I mean, counsel, I just want him to have a license.
We all want the same thing. One moment. So the 17th, it may not be me, it'll be another attorney from my office. who can-
Well, I don't
I'm
want
in
that.
charge.
I don't want that.
You want
Nope.
me?
Yeah,
Okay.
I know.
Okay, you stepped into this. You accepted him. By the way, this is not a court-appointed attorney. He could not afford to pay what, a $200 and something fine, something along the lines of that. So he could get the privilege, and he paid it yesterday. But he also had to pay for an attorney. When all this would have costed him, sorry about that. All this would have costed him would have been a $200 and something fine. Go down and get your license and be done with it. But no. So now you've had to hire an attorney because you did not take a court appointed one because you make too much money for that. So now you're sitting there in court and you have another warrant and you didn't tell your attorney any of this. None of this. It takes 2 to 3 months to even get an appointment to get a permit or renew in person in Texas, FYI. Well, the courts can encourage that if need be, and I'm sure his attorney has already. She said she has an appointment for him tomorrow. But here's the deal. he may be incarcerated. You don't know. Let's continue.
No, you'll never hear me say that. But I don't want to go through this whole, you understand it.
Right, no, I get it. So I started trial on the 15th and,
What's my date after the 17th?
August 7th.
What about August 7th? We can just put it out and then he can
That's what
do
put
what he's
out.
gonna do or not do what he's gonna do, but he should be able to.
August 7th at 1 o'clock, or would it be at 9 a.m.?
I will set it at 9. We will send an invite now that we have your appearance, so you'll get a direct invite from us as to what time like he's.
Okay, and then I just need one moment to talk to my client. He wants
Yes.
to tell me something.
He's going to finally tell you the truth. Please. Psst, please. And this girl down here in this camera phone, right down here, she's making me nauseous, even in the peripheral. She's driving me crazy. You can have your camera turned off and still watch them. When they call your name, turn on your camera. Y'all. Oh my God. Are you back in? No, she's not. Oh, she just disconnected herself. Oh, wow.
Okay,
Thanks for telling me.
August 7th at 9 a.m.
At 9 a.m. I'm gonna take him into custody on the warrant. The only question that I have, and the way I look at the warrant, the bond looks like $500.
Okay,
Two things. First, I don't know whether or not they'll come get him. If
right.
they don't come and get him, we'll release him. We're not gonna hold him. If they are coming to get him and he's gonna be held, the only question I would have for you, counsel, is do you want me to set a nominal bond on this so that he gets credit?
Nominal
Or do nothing
bond,
and
like
not worry
$100
about it?
bond.
I'll leave that up to you.
Please. This pissed me off. He has played the system since day one. Never had a freaking driver's license. And he's driving all over the place. And he's been given way too many warnings. He's had tickets, all that kind of stuff. What in the sandblasted Haiti is going on? Well, this judge is a good guy. I can appreciate it. But we gonna come back when he does. She's probably telling him to shut up
Okay,
and take
That
it.
will be, but absolutely, I want him to be able to get full credit for anything that is necessary.
So let's do it this way. If he's not, so I'm gonna take him in. If for whatever reason he's not released tomorrow, call my office and with the agreement, I will set a nominal bond
Okay,
on it rather than do it right now. So he has to deal with two things. So that you're also clear. Part of the reason I'm also doing this is because I think he was warned and released, didn't take care of it. And secondly, this has been out there for 9 years.
well, I did not
Wow,
know
that's
about
a
it, Your
bold
Honor.
warrant.
Okay,
Counsel, there is not a doubt in my mind that that's true. Yeah, no, you did not. I go to the bank on that one in a minute, because I know you would have taken care of it.
yes.
All right.
It's going to be taken care of today. His wife is here and
Okay.
it will be taken care of. So I will absolutely call your office tomorrow to see call the court to see the status of it. Well, we're going to take care of this.
All right.
Okay, that's
Very
what we're
good.
going to
We'll
do.
see you in August.
Okay.
Defendant is remanded on the Allen Park. Sir, you can go with my baby.
Dang.
So at this point, his bond will continue as. Thank you.
Wow. Oh, now somebody. Oh,
Counsel.
now he's trying to be on the fly.
He's going, can you tell him
Get him
just to be quiet?
Off the record.
Tell me. Yes, come on. Just
Thank
tell him to
you.
just.
Oh, sorry.
God almighty, y'all. Okay, what did y'all think about that mess? Some of you'd seen it. Oh my gosh. Ugh. And the clock still ticks. The clock still ticks. I wish I had the sound. I don't think the Jeopardy sound is available. I'd love to have that. Do 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 do. Y'all are good. Oh my gosh. So is that what we're calling? Is that what people are calling? I know I'm twisting my hair. Is that what everybody's calling Bootneck or Bootneck or Bootneck or Boudreaux? Yeah, right? Oh, I like it. Bocock? Bococca? Bococa? Bouquet? I like Boocaca. Boocaca, Roobaca. It's almost like, was it shakalaka boom, shakalaka? Oh, he has to be so careful because it's a federal investigation, y'all. A full federal investigation. And yeah. Yeah. Really? Really? Hmm. I just got to notice somebody in my contacts is on TikTok. Let's go see. Having a snack. Oh, I'm glad you're having a snack before dinner. Wow. Uh, oh, wow, y'all. I mean to tell you, this has been an interesting, very interesting, very, very interesting. So, what is your take on, um, what is y'all's take on I'm on TT, yeah, I'm on TT. I'm on TikTok X right now. I think that's the right person. Nope, wrong person. I hate it when you get the wrong person. Anyway, um, I am doing both X, but now here's the way it's spelled. Only way I could get it. So it's spelled a little weird, and I wish I could fix it. ALATERNATE. It's alternate with an ALA. Juror. I need to fix it, and I don't know if I can. It kind of gave me that, and I'm not happy. You know how it does. But I'm there live. I've been getting a lot of views. I mean, like a lot of views. Well, sort of, depending on the day. But I only have one freaking follower. One follower on TikTok. Y'all love me. Like me. Uh, Ben White? What? Who is this? Oh, I have no idea who all that is. Well, I'm just streaming them both. What happens happens. There's a lot of people streaming, but do you know that video we just watched when the guy got caught driving while on Zoom? I was one of the very first to go live with that. Uh-oh. 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 Either we have a hung jury or a verdict one. Live is on. Volume is on. Y'all, we may have something here. I hope we have a verdict instead of a hung jury. Now, here's the thing. If the jury is hung, I feel like I'm loud. If there's a hung jury, then the state has to decide, depending on how the jury was voting. They will look at that. The state will have to decide whether to try him again. They're praying. This is the daughter and the son, I believe.
While we're waiting, I don't know whether the jury has a verdict or does not have a verdict. I will say to those of you who are present in the courtroom, there will be no reaction to a verdict or lack of a verdict either way. If you cannot remain silent when the jury comes in, now's your opportunity to leave the courtroom. I'll be glad for you to do that. Any reaction expressed out loud is you'll be immediately escorted from the courtroom and may be subject to being held in contempt of this court.
I may get rid of this account and create a new one because I don't like the way they had
Ready to
me
go, ready for the
spell
jury?
it.
All right, I'll show you whenever you're ready, if they're ready.
Oh, I'm nervous. I always am. I like that little guy. I don't know why. I just do.
All rise.
Okay, Eddie, how do I change it? I tried. We'll talk after this. Please. Talk me through it. I need help, y'all.
All right, let's have a seat. Good afternoon to you all. Madam Foreperson, has the jury reached a verdict in this case?
No.
Do you feel like that it is likely that the jury on continued deliberations will reach a verdict?
No, sir.
Let me ask you this. Has the jury considered the highest level of the offense?
Yes, sir.
Is there a disagreement as to the highest level of offense?
Yes.
That's where your disagreement falls?
No, I'm sorry. It is not. That is not the case for the highest offense.
Okay.
So they were not going to
Does the
give him for
jury
murder.
agree on the highest level of offense that the defendant is either guilty or not guilty?
Yes,
What is the verdict in that?
not guilty.
Okay.
Right.
So the jury has found the defendant not guilty of first-degree murder.
Yes.
Okay.
So, whew, for him. Well, that's good because the state probably is not
May I
going to
borrow the
retry
charge book for a
him.
minute so I can look at the verdict form? If you need it back to look at it, just tell me.
Okay.
Has
So,
the jury considered the second level of the offense attempted first-degree premeditated murder?
We did consider that.
Is there an agreement that the defendant is not guilty as to that offense?
Yes, sir, there is an agreement.
Has the jury considered the level of offense second-degree murder?
Yes, sir.
Is there an agreement that the defendant is not guilty as to second-degree murder?
Not guilty.
I have
Okay.
not asked you specifically, but are all of these agreements unanimous as to these levels of charges?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
he's feeling some relief.
Beg your pardon? I'm sorry. My question, and I'll come back in. My question was, is it unanimous that the defendant is not guilty of second-degree murder? And I'm going, since there was it's my question. Is there an agreement on that level of charge?
Agreement with who?
Not.
Oh, I'd say not guilty on that.
Sir, ma'am? Not guilty as to second-degree murder. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. That cleared that up, General? Has the jury considered the next level of charge, attempted second-degree murder?
Yes, sir.
Do you all find the defendant not guilty of attempted second-degree murder?
Yes, sir.
Each of you? Ma'am? Okay, I'm looking at you because I want to say, and if you disagree, just let me know, okay? Now let's go back. We did not do this as a first-degree murder charge that I'm told you found him not guilty of. Is that correct? Okay, I see head nodding affirmatively, and attempted first-degree murder. Is that correct as well? Okay. Has the jury considered the charge of voluntary manslaughter?
Yes, sir.
Is there an agreement, or has the jury found the defendant not guilty of voluntary manslaughter?
There was no agreement.
No agreement? Is that the level of the offense at which there is disagreement?
Yes, sir.
Is that correct, ma'am? All right.
Of course, someone comes. I'm going to rewind that for a second. Sorry, guys. I had to answer the door.
Agreement, or has the jury found the defendant not guilty of voluntary manslaughter?
There was no agreement.
No agreement? Is that the level of the offense at which there is disagreement?
Yes, sir.
Is that correct, ma'am?
Mm.
All right.
So if I was the state, it may not be worth trying again. I don't know if they can. I'm not a lawyer. Can they try him on the lesser charge?
Would the state like the jury polled as to the first four level of charges?
So he's charged.
Or as
He's
to
hung
or
on
as
the
to
voluntary
level in which there's a
manslaughter.
disagreement. I think since we don't have a verdict, there's no reason to poll the jury as to that level. You agree, Mr. Taylor? I'm going to ask each of you this question. You just tell me, would further deliberations be of any value?
No.
Do you all believe that the jury is hopelessly deadlocked with respect to the charge of voluntary
Oh,
manslaughter?
sorry. I wanted to
I
do
see
this.
everybody nodding their head yes.
Oh, jeez. Sorry.
The court will enter a verdict of not guilty as to the charge of first-degree murder. The court will enter the charge of not guilty as to attempted first-degree premeditated murder. The court will also enter a not guilty verdict with respect to second-degree murder. And the court will also enter a not guilty verdict with respect to attempted second-degree murder. The court believes that the jury is hopelessly deadlocked with respect to the next level of charge, that is voluntary manslaughter. Is there any reason that the court should not declare mistrial at this time, General? No, Your Honor. Mr. Taylor? No, Your Honor. Court will enter and declare mistrial with respect to the charge of voluntary manslaughter.
Thank you, Miss Eddie.
I want to say something to you. The jury, having completed the work as required by law and by this court, is discharged and excused with the sincere gratitude of the court. Judge Parham and Mrs. McMahon have asked me to tell you that you are excused from further service in this term. You do not have to report in August. You've done more than a share.
Okay, guys.
I understand the personal sacrifices that each of you have made to be here every day on time, and specifically the sacrifices over the 11 hours plus in 2 days that you have spent attempting to reach a decision in this case. I thank you for your work, for your time, for your dedication to this case, because that is dedication to our system. That's dedication to our jury system and our effort to provide a fair trial for anyone who's accused of a criminal offense. Don't be frustrated or discouraged because you weren't able to resolve the case fully. It happens. You did exactly what the court and the attorneys asked you to do and what the law requires you to do, and that is to consider a matter on which reasonable minds can obviously have differing opinions. Okay? You did exactly what we asked you to do. You're released from the previous restrictions of discussing the case or from viewing social media posts or the video of the trial. And I bet every one of you want to go home and rewatch that right now. You can talk with anyone that you please, but you're under no obligation to talk to anyone whatsoever. I think some of the media have provided you with their contact information rather than besieging you once you leave the courthouse. That is not to say that you may not be met with questions and cameras. It is your decision whether you want to talk to anybody about any aspect of this thing. If you watch any portions of the trial later on or start reading social media posts, you're going to find out that there was some information that the court, and when I say the court, I mean me, that I excluded from the trial of this case because I did not think that it passed the requirements of the rules of evidence. It was my call. I stand behind my decision on that because I thought that's what the law required me to do. But you'll be surprised when you do see that. It has been a distinct honor and a privilege to serve with you, each and every one of you in this case. I'm proud of you, and I wish you the best. You're released. Officer Elam will help you get your electronics and any personal things you have there. And once you get those, you are free to leave. I think, have you already handed out excuses or you have those? We got those to give you. Maybe, yeah, Emily can, yeah, okay. Can follow them in and hand out those. Thank you very much for your service. Once again, let's rise for the jury.
Thank you, Miss Eddie. Got it. Mistrial on the verdict of voluntary manslaughter. The least of all the charges. Manslaughter 1, manslaughter 2, all of it was not
All right, let's
guilty.
be seated.
But
We're going to give them a few minutes to clear the second floor, give them a head start added at any rate. Is there anything you know of we need to do before we adjourn?
thank you, Miss Sparkles.
Yes.
Motion, but we would ask the court to consider reinstating the bond in light of this.
They're going to go after him.
And I understand the state is going to talk about the status of the case when we come back.
We would definitely be opposed to that bond.
I understand. You filed your motion. We'll take it up on the next appearance date. Let me see what I've got. I don't have my book.
So they're going to retry him. They're asking for the bond to be reinstated or maintained. And the judge is going to discuss that at a later date, but they are going to retry him on voluntary manslaughter. I did not see anything that proved he did it. Nothing. So tomorrow, guys, I'm going to take tomorrow off. I'm going to shut down the studio. I'm going to catch up on all my timestamps, spend time with my kids. And then tomorrow night, we will do Friday Fun Night. Okay? Definitely will do that. I'm going to prepare for that. Mods, if y'all want me to do anything, talk about anything, send it to me in the chat. You can think of something fun to do. I might do, let's play the quote game. I don't know.
The morning of
The
July
Salty
2.
Sabbath. Oh, I'm sorry. We're still on for the moment. We're not done.
Judge, I will be with you on another case. I'll be with you on another case.
I'll take a
that day?
screenshot.
Is it at 9 or at 1 that you have?
It's at 9 o'clock.
Yeah. Why don't we set? Does that work for the state as well?
That's where the hearing's on.
Yes. Well, if he files a motion for bond reduction,
Well, I need to know ahead of time if we have a hearing because I will have a witness from Alabama. who have to be here.
Mr. Taylor, can you?
I'll follow my motion tomorrow. I'll follow the motion tomorrow.
Let's be ready to hear it that day. Then he's going to file the motion. I think if he files tomorrow, I think that gives you sufficient time. Do you think? Okay.
Before you leave,
I hear you.
I will pull up my
Okay.
screen.
July
Just give
2,
me
9 o'clock then.
Before you leave, I'll pull up the screen. Yes, we do.
All right. Is there anything else we need to do?
Amen.
Anything else, Mr. Taylor?
No, Your Honor.
All right. We'll stand adjourned.
Okay. I'm going to say this. I'm going to mute it. I'll bring the volume down. To the family of Miss Swift, to her children who are standing here in the background, they testified for their father, but I just send my utmost condolences, and I hope at some point you can find some sense and reasoning and to go on. This is horrible, but right now, he has not been found guilty. He is innocent on all the charges except for the fifth one, which was the voluntary manslaughter, which is the least of the charges. And apparently they are going to charge him again. Now, that may change in the future, but right now it appears that they would like to charge him. So the attorney is discussing with him right now what's going to be happening in the next 24 hours or so. I'm sure they're going to meet. They're going to have to discuss about all of this. But y'all, this is hard on everybody, all the people involved, including the family. So our condolences to go out. Thank you, CG and Tex. Now I'm going to share the other screen. This is my Twitter account. Oh, didn't mean to do that. I want to share screen. Accidentally did the wrong thing. Share screen. Twitter account. Share. Got it. It's not letting me. There it is. That's my Twitter. So right now, I think, yeah, they're taking him away. He is still remanded, I think, or the sheriffs are just following him out just for his safety. But he is out of the courtroom, so they're done. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, guys. So we do not have court in the Karen Reed trial this week at all. The rest of the week, we're done. They come back Monday morning. I will be back on Monday morning. I'm kind of glad this trial is done. I'm sorry, my camera moved. I'm happy because now I can focus back on Karen Reed. I will go live again tomorrow night, 7 Central time. I will have it preloaded so y'all will see it. Please click notify me. No offense, they both cheated on each other. That is true. But I don't think she was a swinger like they tried to paint her out to be. I think they were both unhappy in their marriage and they just needed a divorce. But something went really bad. And I hope that one day they find out the truth for the kids more than anybody. The kids, they are pretty much grown adults almost. He could be guilty, but he could be innocent. And I know we are a lot here, well, not just here, but in general on this format, focused on guilt. But once again, he could be guilty. He could be innocent. It all depends on how we see the evidence, but we need to remember there's a lot of evidence that does not make it into court that could sway one way or the other. And that is the one thing I hate about court is there can be evidence, but for whatever reason, based on the way our laws are written, can't be coming into trial. That could show innocence or could show guilt. And we have to remember innocent until proven guilty. He's not been proven guilty. Do I believe he did it? Honestly, I don't have enough evidence to say yes or no. I'm still on the fence personally. So, yeah, in the Karen Reed trial, I haven't seen anything that's made me go to the guilt side yet. In fact, I'm tilting more towards the innocence. But we shall see. You know what? Just because people may not behave right and just because we don't like them and they could be jerks or a-holes doesn't mean they committed murder. He cheated on his wife. He could have been controlling. He could have been all those things. But it doesn't necessarily equate to murder. It equates to being a jerk. It equates to not being a good husband. Maybe not being a good father. But does not equate to necessarily murder. They're going to probably try again. If they do, we'll be here. There may be evidence that's presented that they may be able to put in there that they didn't before. You're right. Jerks. You could be the meanest, nastiest person alive, but it doesn't mean you killed somebody. I could be having a really bad day, and I can say some things that are really mean, doesn't mean I killed anybody. It shouldn't be up to the, in a way I agree with you, but it's not their responsibility. I just think he needs to get through this and do whatever's best for him. And I pray that those children get the help and the therapy they need. As horrible as it is, no one deserves to be murdered. Almost nobody. You can never say never. But the children are the ones who need to get therapy. The children need to get themselves in a place of wholeness. The children need to find peace and comfort. And they need to, for lack of better terms, get inner healing so they can go on to be good parents, better parents than their parents were. Because honestly, she wasn't perfect. And if she was going around sleeping with other men, which they both slept around on each other, both of them were in the wrong. Yeah. So you're going to come see me, Miss CG, and text before you move? I'd like to meet you. Maybe have you come on and sit next to me. I'd have to move my desk out, but I can make it work. Ava, thank you for joining. As always, my mods, Eddie, CG, and Tex, Miss Karen, the Salty Sabbath, thank you for joining us. Sparkles, loved seeing you today. Bite me. Love it. Used to be a favorite saying of mine. Bite me. I said that a lot when I was young. And then someone said where, and I was like, I think she's still staying. I think she's going to the coast. Maybe I'll have a place to stay when I go down there and I can come visit you. I don't go to the coast very often. I don't get in the ocean. I had a bad experience. Won't do it again. So anyway, I will see everyone here. Please invite people. I'm going to be working on it tomorrow. I'm shutting it down today. And we will be live at 7 p.m. here for Friday Night Fun Night. We will discuss what's happened in the Karen Reed trial this week a little bit. But also want to do something else. I don't know what. We'll see. Whoever is in the connection with A, please let him know. I'll send an invite, but it always seems to work better if he hears from y'all too. So, in the meantime, be blessed. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Have an awesome, awesome Friday. It's today Friday. Thursday evening. Oh, can't remember all this stuff. Can't keep up. Yes, hit the subscribes. I need them. Need you.